So, welcome everyone. I'm Josim and I'm excited to have you here today. Before we begin, some practical information for you. This session will be recorded and later put up on our web and YouTube channel. This session is designed in an interview style where I have prepared some questions which are the most important that can really help you to make a decision confidently. You will also get the opportunity to ask your questions at the end of this webinar. Please do that in the Q&A function on Zoom so that it becomes easier for us to follow your questions. So let's talk about our master program in logistics and supply chain management, for which we have all gathered here today. As we all know that in today's fast-paced economy, the logistics and supply chain industry is at the heart of global business, evolving rapidly with challenges and advances with AI, automation, and sustainability. Under such circumstances, developing critical thinking is more crucial than ever, as it helps us navigate these changes and solve complex challenges, right? Joining me today is Dr. Thomas Siren, the program director for this logistics program, who will share his insights on what makes this program a top choice for aspiring supply chain leaders. Before we try to dive in into the program, Dr. Thomas, can please introduce yourself and tell us about who you are?
Yes, thank you, Yasim. Welcome everybody to this session. My name is Thomas Siren, and I am working as an assistant professor within business administration at the Jönköping International Business School. I am also the program director for supply chain management, for international logistics and supply chain management, as Yasim has mentioned. As a background for mine, I'm mostly focusing on entrepreneurship, but I do also have some teaching in this program, mostly in research methods, and I'm a graduate of JIBS myself. So I have started and finished my education at JIBS, my master's actually in 2015, and after that have done my academic career and started as an assistant professor about 2 years ago. Mm.
Great. Thanks very much. You're most welcome. And I will begin with our unique strength, where Jönköping University is ranked among top 100 in European business schools and top 100 in master in management through Financial Times. And we're also in 2% of the schools in the world holding prestigious double accreditations. Thomas, can you tell us what sets the Masters in Logistics and Supply Chain Management apart with these credentials and why it's attracting students from all corners of the globe?
I think there are several reasons why students might be attracted to this program. First of all, as you mentioned, Yasim, we are a top-ranked business school, and it shows both in our education as well as the research that we conduct as scholars here. So our education is typically research informed. So all of our professors and all of the teachers in the programs, most of them have a PhD and higher and are active in the area of research. That means that most of the people you will meet in the program have a very deep knowledge about this topic. The second advantage is that we have a very close relationship to the industry, which, because of the location of Jönköping, which is in the center of the Nordics, basically, is a logistics hub for many, many companies. So our region is known to be a place where many companies within the logistics services sector and supply chain management have either their warehouses or even the main headquarters. And I think this is one of the major advantages of this program that sets us apart from many of the others. We are not shy to sort of use these collaborations together and to, collaborate with different companies to prepare you for your careers.
Exactly, Thomas. I think the logistics and supply chain field is a backbone of global economy, and I think it's remarkable that our program combined these cutting-edge elements to prepare students to lead in such a critical industry. So my next question is about the logistics and supply chain field is incredibly dynamic, requiring practical experience and real-world skills. Could you share how projects like JIBS Entrepreneurship Challenge or the Innovation Runway or JIBS Sustainability Day or Startup Young Shipping students help students gain hands-on experience and build their creative thinking?
Yeah. So our school is known for our entrepreneurial mindset, right? So we like to work with creative challenges, and you as students, you will have the opportunity to practice this in different moments, both within the courses that you get, where we, for instance, use a business simulations game in the International Logistics and Supply Chain Management program to train you the skills so that you can train your skills in solving real world or simulated real world problems. But we also work with hands-on company projects where you are supposed to solve the problems of actual companies that we collaborate with. In addition to that, we also have extracurricular activities like the ones that you mentioned, right? So, for instance, the JIBS Entrepreneurship Challenge is a challenge that happens every year, and where typically one big player or one big company submits a challenge that they are experiencing. Nowadays, it can be related, of course, to sustainability, but everything was there, right? So, for instance, we had some companies who wanted to explore new applications to their current technology that they have developed. And then you, as students, you can sign up for the challenge and participate in a group of 4 or 5 people and compete with others to generate solutions that can be useful for this particular company. The advantages that you gain through all of these activities, hands-on knowledge and skills, which allows you to sort of apply what you learn in the courses, the theoretical backgrounds that you receive there, also in real life.
Great. And that's fantastic examples you have given. I think it really shows how our students don't just learn the theory, but also apply their skills to real world problems, which is invaluable for their careers, I think. One of the program's key strengths is its strong industry ties, right? And could you provide an example of a recent collaboration with a company and how it's benefited our students in terms of practical learning and exposure to real world challenges?
Yeah, so the first examples that I can give is from a course that is called Advanced Supply Chain Management 2 that is currently running. And our teacher there has managed to get on board 2 companies that are local but global players. So the first one is, for instance, Thule. Thule Group, you might know it from producing luggage or rooftop boxes for cars or other transportation solutions. It's a company that was mostly active within Sweden, but that is in the recent years expanding globally, and they are really trying to grow their brand beyond just being the Swedish brand that they are known for. So they have heavily invested into the US market and try to become a big player there as well. And I think what students took away from collaboration with these projects is how expanding a brand beyond a local context into other regions and other nations really puts the supply chain under a lot of pressure and stress. And how Thule is currently managing to expand their local activities on a global scale. In a similar group, for instance, we also have collaboration with Husqvarna Group. So that's another company that is literally just in the village nearby. It's another one of those companies that are um, hidden champions, right? So Husqvarna is known not only for robotic mowers, but they've also acquired by now many other brands, such as the gardening company Gardena, which was a big German brand, but Husqvarna has acquired it. And here again, we also see, for instance, one example of 2 brands that are very much consumer product focused and how they grow and how they need to adjust their supply chains and their logistics. We also, in addition to that, not only work, of course, with consumer products, but also with, I would say, maybe more B2B industries. So, in another project, for instance, the students learned from Volvo Construction. So, Volvo does not only produce cars, they also produce huge, huge machines for constructions. Um, and in cooperation with Salesforce, for instance, these were 2 case companies that were active in a course on how digitalization impacts supply chain management. So the students work together with these companies to see and to learn about how digitalization and how IT enables these companies to work differently than they used to work 20 years ago, maybe. So we have many of these collaborations, and I think what they all do in the courses is again to connect the academic knowledge that we are very proud of with hands-on and practical applications so that it's easy for you as students to transfer what you learn in class to how you would apply this in practice.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And I think partnerships like these demonstrate how we bridge the gap between academia and industry, ensuring our students are well prepared and they are ready to tackle real world challenges head on.
Mm.
So, my next question is about sustainability is becoming a central focus in logistics industry, especially with the push towards green logistics and reducing carbon footprints. Could you tell us about the program's emphasis on sustainable practices and share an impressive example of how students have contributed to the innovative green logistics solutions, for instance?
Sure. I think there are two dimensions and two courses that stick out in this respect. The first one is quite obvious, a course that is called Supply Chain Sustainability. And for instance, last year, the students worked together with a medium-sized company that is called KSL Trading, and they produce, for instance, the top boards of kitchens. Right. And the students had one challenge or one task that is to analyze this company's supply chain and the procurement of particle boards for its carbon impact. And they were supposed to find ways how to reduce the carbon impact of their final product and of their production line. The benefit was here that we also offer a carbon literacy training for these students. So you sort of get a carbon literacy training for which you get a separate certificate at the end of the course while working with a company and analyzing its problems. So again, it's one of those things where we really try to connect sort of the theory with the practice, and we help you to transfer the knowledge here. I think another highlight of the program is actually that we have a dedicated course that is called Humanitarian Logistics.
Mhm.
And humanitarian logistics deals especially with logistics and supply chains that are active or that we prepare for under crisis situations. So these crisis situations can reach from climate crisis, for instance, or from weather crisis, weather events. It could also be, for instance, an event like the getting stuck, like when the Panama Canal got stuck by a ship and then you had to go around, right? But also going into the topics of war crisis and how to deal with supply chains under these circumstances. And when we talk about sustainability, I think this course really brings it to another level because we know that in the current global setting, the geopolitical risks are increasing. And this course specifically deals with the topic of how to work with geopolitical risks rather than trying to avoid them. So I think that's another thing that sets us apart in how we combine sustainability or green logistics within the program.
Exactly. And I think with green logistics being a major focus worldwide, having such hands-on exposure with these invaluable courses is a huge advantage for our graduates. So the logistics and supply chain industry is truly global, and having the right networks can be game changer for our students. Could you talk about the program's partnerships with the international companies and how these connections benefit our graduates? I know that you have already touched upon a lot of these, but maybe if you want to give some more examples, if you have, or we can also go on to the next question if you want.
No, I think one of the things that we can highlight here is also our alumni work and
Yeah.
our alumni network, because our alumni work for many companies around the world that are active worldwide. So we know that through our network is not only the companies that we have in class, but also that our graduates will end up working for. So just to give you a couple of examples, right? So one of our alumni is working for Husqvarna Group, that is a local company, but that has international relations. And this student is often coming into class and also talking to the students, and you have a direct connection to them. Another example comes from one of our advisory board members who is also an alumni and currently works for a major shipping player. So you might know about Maersk Logistic in Denmark. And she is quite high up in the hierarchy and working as a supply chain manager there. So these are just some examples of how we sort of connect the practice and the companies in our alumni work network and bring it into the course and into the program.
That's amazing. And I think these connections not only open doors to internships and job opportunities, but also help our students to build lifelong professional networks. Um, so I have some questions which are designed more around ROI. So, for instance, key concern for many parents and many students watching today, the return on investment is quite crucial. So, what kind of career services and job opportunities can students expect, and how does the program support them in achieving their career goals?
Yeah, so as I said, I think on the one hand side, we do believe that we set you up with not only the relevant knowledge, but also the relevant skills to later on get a job. I think what many students do also in the applications later on is that they make references to all the project work that they have done throughout the studies, for instance. So it means that in our studies, you can also gain a practical experience, for instance by doing an internship in the third semester, which is an option that many people do. So you do not only get an academic education, but also hands-on practical experience, which can set you apart from some other programs and some other study programs.
Wonderful.
Another way that we set up is, for instance, we offer career services at the university. And these career services help you with all the topics from how to get an interview and then how to behave in an interview, how to conduct an interview. They can also help you look at your application documents. And what I think is most interesting for some of our international students, they also offer insights and information about how to navigate the Swedish job market. So the Swedish job market, of course, is different as any job market is different from another. There are certain specificities that students might have to address and keep in mind, and we prepare our students for that. Another interesting source for gaining jobs after the program is our job platform. So our university has a dedicated job platform, and since many of our partners in the program are from the logistics sector and from the supply chain sector, they will frequently post their job advertisements on the job platform. Applying through those platforms, these companies oftentimes know that we produce pretty good graduates. So I would say it gives you an advantage in the jobs that are being offered there.
Exactly, Thomas. And I think our career services are a cornerstone of the program, and it's fantastic to see how our graduates are thriving in top companies globally, like you already mentioned. Um, Students' well-being is also a top priority at Jönköping University. Could you elaborate on the academic and personal support services available to students throughout the year or their education at JIBS?
Yes. So we have a dedicated student health center, for instance, and this dedicated student health center provides both health services with physiological pains. So, for instance, if you have a cold or a headache or whatever, then they will give you help. But what is most importantly, perhaps, is also psychological support and support for mental well-being. So they have trained staff there that also speaks English and that can help you with any types of issues that you might experience throughout studying. We also offer a so-called pathway program that might be an option for some of you who want to train their English skills before joining a program that is fully delivered in English. Lastly, we also have international students office that will help you with housing. So we have guaranteed housing here in Jönköping, so all the students will have housing available for them. But what might also be important is that International Student Office guides you and takes you by the hand in your visa application process to come to Sweden, and also offers many activities for social integration and social activities. So they typically arrange some, joint coffees, which we call fikas in Sweden, and have some nice activities where international students can meet.
You're absolutely right. Ensuring students feel supported academically and personally is critical to their success. And we take pride in offering a robust support system at JU. So this has been a fantastic discussion, Thomas. For those of you eager to take the next step, applications are now open. What advice would you give to prospective students, and why is it beneficial for them to apply early, especially if they're considering scholarships?
So uh, we admit students on a rolling basis. So the sooner you apply, the sooner we might actually admit you to the program. And the sooner you have a program to which you are admitted, the sooner you can start looking for scholarships and funding sources that can help you to finance your study trip and your study visit in Sweden. So I think that is one of the biggest advantages, of course, to apply early to our program and to apply via our platform. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think applying early not only increases the chances of scholarship, but also ensures a smooth admissions process, including access to guaranteed housing and other benefits. So, and they get ample of time to process and prepare their application. Thank you, Thomas, for these invaluable insights. For everyone watching, if you're ready to embark on an exciting journey in logistics and supply chain management, I would encourage you to make an application or book a consultation with me. I would be more than happy to help out and guide. And we also have a lot of tutorial videos on our YouTube channel, so you can also watch them. Just get in touch with me, and I'll try to help you as much as possible. So finally, do not miss out the opportunity of sending us your application in time. And thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to welcoming you to Jönköping University very soon. And now we can open the house for Q&A function, Q&A session actually. So now we already have questions. Data leak. Yeah, hope I would like to ask my question. How does the program address the latest trends and challenges in international logistics and supply chain management? I think if you were hearing, we did mention a lot of those examples, but maybe would you like to say something, Thomas, around this?
Yeah, I think what we are experiencing at the moment, of course, is two major trends, I would say. The one is the geopolitical tensions that we experience and how, supply chains have, of course, become more and more global over the years, but especially with the impact of COVID and difficult, uh, different crisis situations at the moment, we also prepare our students to how to deal with the situations. The other one is, of course, the technological development. So, what does AI do, and how does it help us to make our supply chains more efficient than they are today? And we also have a dedicated course for this. So, we have a course that is called IT-enabled changes in supply chain management, where you specifically talk about these issues and where you gain hands-on experiences in solving problems that are related to this. So I would say this is how we prepare for it.
His next question is, are there support services for international students, such as visas, accommodation? Yes, absolutely. We have already mentioned that. And please send me an email and I can guide you through the tutorial webinars and videos, and you can watch them. And if you still need help, just send me a message and I'll try to guide you through making sure that you get your support. What happens if a student withdraws or is not admitted, and are the application or inscription fee refundable? Please send an email to admissions office and try to give your question there, and they will look into your case, and if something is refundable, they will do that, and if it's not, then they will let you know. Is there, so Austin is asking from Nigeria, is there internship or job placement for international students in the course of program or after graduation? Well, I can just let you know that since we do have a career center, which we have already mentioned during the webinar, but we also have a system in Sweden which gives you 1 year of residence permit to stay back in the country after you finish your education to find work. And during that time, you can, of course, be in touch with our career center. You can be in touch with them while you're studying. So you're well prepared ahead of time, and hopefully, you can also utilize the alumni network we have, and all of these support functionalities hopefully will help you to get where you want to get to. Can you outline the document required for application? Absolutely. I mean, I can send a link later to everyone, and you can have that later on. So let me see. There are a lot of questions coming in, so it's hard to keep the pace with every question. Um, Let me finish these so that I don't see them.
Yeah, so I think what I'm seeing here is a lot of questions to for eligibility, and I think if you have doubt whether you're eligible, then you should contact our admissions office because we do not have the time here to check with each and every one of you whether you are eligible or not. There is a separate office that has that. The documents that are required for the applications, they are outlined on the program page. So if you go to the program page and you look at, you sort of start the application process, then it will outline specifically what you need. We also have a question here concerning part-time jobs and if we give part-time jobs to students. No, that's not the case. We do have students who work part-time, and it's typically possible to find part-time jobs here in Jönköping. There is many jobs available for part-time work, but the university itself does not help you in that process.
Does the
Um,
university, yeah, sorry. Uh, Does the university offer language courses specifically for international students to learn new language, example, Swedish or French?
Yeah, French not, but Swedish. Yeah, so you come to Sweden and we do offer Swedish courses that are for free for you. It's in addition to your education, right? So you can take a course, and there is actually two courses that you can take throughout your program, which is the Swedish level 1, and then there is a Swedish level 2. They come after one another, and we do have many students who take these courses next to their studies. So it's a nice addition if you want to learn another language, definitely.
I can see there are some questions about English. Yes, English is mandatory. You need to show some proof of English through IELTS or TOEFL or through your studies. And you can find the requirements on our website there. So, do you help students? No, okay, that's already done. Acceptance rate at JU for the course of MS. Well, if you make the application in time and if you have the right background to, support the requirements for studying international logistics and supply chain management, so I don't see a point. And then, of course, you are going to be invited for the interview. And if you go through all of this process and pass through all of this process, then you should be admitted by JU. Would it automatically certify me as supply chain professional? Good afternoon. Is the Master's in International Logistics and Supply Chain Management a professional course or strictly academic? Would it automatically certify me as a supply chain professional?
Um, there is no certification in supply chain as there is, for instance, in accounting, right? So in some countries, in order to become an accountant, you need to be a certified accountant. That doesn't exist for supply chain management. So I think I'm going to interpret this question as to what extent is this an applied program versus a academic program? And I would say it's 50-50. So we have about 50% of the program that is about theoretical and academic knowledge. We also do have a research methods course that is a scientific research methods course, and we end the program with a master's thesis. And this master thesis is an academic thesis first and foremostly. But as I said, we do have both in the courses and in extracurricular activities, and also in the program structure, plenty of opportunities for practical experience. So just to give you a couple of examples, in the IT-enabled changes course, the students use SAP software as part of the course and get training in SAP software. In the course about supply chain sustainability, you can do a carbon literacy certificate. So that's a very practical certificate that we typically offer to practitioners outside. So practitioners, managers who are working in a company come to our university to do this carbon literacy training. We offer it also to our students, which means you already have that as a certificate. Um, then in the third semester, you can do an optional internship course. So if you manage to score an internship at a company, you can combine your academic studies with practical experience. So in a sense, does this program set you up as a supply chain professional? Yes, because this is a deepening program. It requires you to have basic understanding in business administration and management. And what this does is to train you as a future middle or higher management positions within supply chains and within logistics and supply chain management.
Great. Thanks very much, Thomas. I think we have answered most of the questions, and I can see one question, I think a student from India, most probably. So please send us an email, and we have one of our colleagues is from India who looks into the Indian market, and he could also look into your degree, or you send an email to admissions, and they can also help you out with your specific question about your eligibility. What's the study abroad section of the course that requires partnering? So I really don't
Ah,
understand. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so to answer this question, so somebody wonders what the study abroad section in the program means. And yeah, maybe I can clarify to you. So the way how the program looks like is that we typically have two courses in parallel that you read at the same time. And you will have in one semester, i.e., within 6 months, you will read four courses in total. So two times two. We will have 2 semesters in the program. So you will read four courses, then again four courses, and these are sort of set in stone. Then, however, in the third semester, so that's after 1 year of studying, at the beginning of the second year, you are moving into the third semester where you can make choices. One of the choices is that you select to go abroad or to one of our many international exchange universities, and you do elective courses there. So you can select out of many, many different courses abroad, and we have lots and lots and lots of universities that we partner with all over the world. For those partner universities, you do not need to pay fees again. So these are all included in the fees that you pay here or in you being admitted to the university, which I think is a great opportunity for people who want to not only experience how it is to study in Sweden, but might also be interested in experiencing a completely different country on the other side of the globe. And what you can also do, and that's the second option, so to speak, in this third semester, is to do an internship and combine it with elective courses at JIBS. And these are the two major options here that you can choose from. And I hope that clarifies the question.
Yeah. What relevant work experience make me eligible for admissions if my academic qualifications do not suffice? So if I mean he's trying to ask if let's say he's not able to have 90 or 60 CTS in business administration and but he has relevant work experience in the industry and so can that help to get him in?
Unfortunately, no. So
No,
we do not replace the academic requirements with work experiences. This is not an option for this program.
thank you.
I also saw that we had some raised hands before, which I don't know if they were by accident or not, but you're also free to raise your hand, of course, and phrase your question verbally. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, no, we see actually. see here, we can allow you to talk. Yeah, Simon, if you want to talk, go ahead.
I think you can try to write if you're not able to do that. I'm not so sure how the.
No, you are unmuted. You should be unmuted. We can't hear you, unfortunately, but if you can write your question in the chat, we can also answer it there.
Good. Okay. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to do that, and just give me a couple of days because, yeah, maybe hopefully by Friday, you might have the recording with you. So, yeah, just wait for it. Great. Thank you, Thomas. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we look forward to welcoming you to Jönköping University very soon. Thank you very much. All the best. See you at Jönköping. Bye bye.
Bye.